What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of SpeedSim. My name is Amy.
And I'm E-House.
And today, I'm finally reviewing my Ares Striker AS02. Not the one, the two, obviously. The shorter one. I guess first things first, it is mostly polymer construction. The barrel and the receiver is aluminum, or some sort of type of aluminum. I'm not exactly sure which type, but it is metal. It has a full railed top piece, so that way you can mount all your accessories. Most likely a scope, but again, I don't know. Most likely a scope, but I've seen other people put T1s or red dots on there. Again, depending on how you want to play with it, but you have plenty of room on the top. As opposed to the AS01, which has a break in between, like your VSR10, where it has a smooth piece and then a couple rails in the behind. This actually has full rail, which is actually really nice, which I appreciate.
Gives you a lot more flexibility with mounting.
Exactly.
Options.
Now, as far as trigger goes, it is an M&P style, I would say. It has kind of a safety, and then you actually pull it to.
Well, it's a two-stage trigger,
or two-stage, yeah. I think two-stage.
Well, because if you actually look, I'll crop this in. If you actually look, you've got a take up here, and then you have the brake, which feels pretty light. I mean, that's maybe like 2 or 3 pounds.
Right, which is great. Which with any of the strikers, you can adjust your trigger. So you have a couple of adjustments once you take it down from the actual stock part. You can drop it down. There are 2 flatheads that you can adjust and make it either more pull or less pull, depending on how you like yours. Again, it's all personal preference. Now it does have, or it did have a shot or a loader indicator. I don't know exactly what you call that, but when
was it a cocked indicator?
A cocking indicator. Yeah. Thank you. It did have one of those when I got it. Unfortunately, it breaks very easily. So when I was shooting it, maybe, I don't even know, a couple days as I was trying to test it, make sure everything works, and kind of go through the motions and just feeling out this rifle to begin with, the cocking indicator broke. I don't understand why Ares did this a second time, because I know in the AS01, from the reviews that I saw, it broke immediately, and they continue with this design into this one, and this is their Gen 2.
I mean, there's a few things on this that
there's a
break.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
There's a few.
Well, we'll finish our nice things first.
Yeah. So, like I said, the cocking indicator did break. So, if you plan on getting this, and you plan on doing stuff to it, break off the cocking indicator immediately, because you will have a nightmare trying to cock this every single time, because it will prevent you from cocking eventually. Not in the beginning, but eventually. By eventually, I mean a couple days.
So the cocking indicator actually prevents you from even then cocking it?
Yes.
Well, that's not a design flaw.
That's what I said. I don't understand why they did this the second time.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is a 310... this is a short-barreled sniper. Like I mentioned, this is the AS02. This has a 310 millimeter inner barrel, and this takes VSR10 style barrels and bucking. So you're good right there for out of the box. You don't have to really worry about either buying the right barrel or anything. It takes VSR10 buckings and barrel, and it is TDC, which is top down center. So right here, just the second rail or the second.
There's just a small hole right in there,
and you take it has an included 2 Allen sets in your pistol grip. You can just take it on. There's one specifically for the hop-up adjustment, and you can just adjust it right there on the fly.
Now, can you work it in with the scope mounted, or do you have to take the scope off?
No, I can leave it on, because it's obviously the L-shaped Allen key.
Gotcha.
So you just take it in, and you can just adjust it either way.
But you will need a scope that gives you that clearance.
Yeah, exactly, but most will. I have a 1-inch riser on here on mine, so most scope rings should allow you. If not, I would just go a little bit higher. You shouldn't go too much higher, but there's a whole thing. I'm not going to get into it. But I have a 1-inch on here, and that gives me enough clearance so that way I can adjust it. It does have M-lock rail segments on here, or not rail segment, but as an M-lock attachment points, I guess, or handguard, whatever you want to call it. You can put, like I put here, rail covers on here, and it allowed me to put on a vertical grip. And this is an Ares specific for either the M4 rifles and the sniper rifles. They're all compatible, and these are M-lock as well, and it allowed me to put on my bipod from Ares themselves. Out of the box, this does come with a black cylinder or bolt, I guess, however you want to call it, does come with a black one. Eventually, it will turn brass. However, like the cocking indicator, within 2 days, it broke. The cylinder and the actual bolt that holds everything together got, I don't know, 6 pins that hold everything together. And with enough cocking, all those pins will start to fly out. If you're good with either a welder or you have JB Weld or you have anything like that, you can fix it, but it's not a permanent fix because I put super glue in mine. I have JB Weld here, and it eventually did work its way back out again, which is a huge design flaw because the upgraded cylinder that you can buy for this from Ares also includes the pins that hold everything together. So even if you break yours or it bends or drop or whatever, you buy the upgraded one, you still get the same garbage.
So it's a design flaw where there's just a friction fit for those pins keeping everything together, and it's not actually glued or welded
or one piece
threaded.
Or nothing.
So what do you have in here now?
So in here right now, unfortunately, like I mentioned, in a couple days, mine broke off. All the pins came loose, or most of the pins. I had a couple left. I reached out to Bespoke Airsoft. They're a company in the United Kingdoms that make upgrade parts specifically for the AS01 and AS02. The bolt for, the bolt for the AS01 and AS02 work universally. So you can buy them both and they will fit either in the AS01 or the 2. And so I bought that one, but unfortunately he was out of stock in the UK. However, there's another guy in Canada called High Precision Airsoft, and he had those in stock, and that's where I got mine. This is a $150 bolt. It comes with the guide rod or the guide plug. I don't even know what you call it. Let's call it a guide rod. It comes with the guide rod, comes with the cylinder head, and then it comes with the piston and a new spring. So the spring is going to be a 150. It'll get you just close enough to 500. It'll get you a little bit under.
With the short barrel, that is.
With the short barrel, yes. I don't know what it is with the long one, but in my experience from this one, it was just at $495, I believe, in that area.
Yeah.
However, this does take, stock, it will take the AEG spring, and with the upgraded one, it also still takes the AEG spring. Currently, I have a 160 spring. I'm shooting just at 550. That's with .2s. My longest shot over the Bad Blood, my longest shot was 278 with crosswinds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. I wasn't 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty windy that day.
And that was with 4 or 5 gram BBs?
4 or 5 gram BBs, yes. Other thing, the actual bolt cap that holds your bolt handle on, mine broke. Broke within a month. I don't know if it's a design flaw for the AS02, but the AS01 has held up much nicer than the 2.
So that's an AS01 cap.
This is an AS01 cap that I bought from Elite Force themselves. They provided with me, 5 or 6 of them.
Damn.
So I have a bunch of them now.
So it seems like a high wear part.
It's a very high wear part. You can buy aftermarket ones from, what is the company called? EDGI. It's $45.
Edgy or whatever you want to call them.
Edgy, I don't know.
Edgy boys.
Edgy boys. You can buy the end cap from them as well. You can also buy the whole cylinder setup with a trigger and a whole sear set. You can buy those also from EDGI. They all make, upgraded ones, but they are far more expensive than what I have in there right now.
And your stock trigger and sear set seem to be holding up fine.
Which I'm getting to right now.
Oh boy.
Because it's fine. Don't worry. It's nothing bad. Don't worry. Again, end cap is $45. So if yours does break, either contact Elite Force. They'll send you a bunch of them. I don't know how much they're going to send you. They send me 6, but that's all I can't say on how much you're going to be getting. So I have that end cap in there. They do make aftermarket ones, like I mentioned. The sears. This is the Gen 2. They have 90-degree sears. The AS01 has 45-degree sears. So if you plan on getting the AS01, you will need to upgrade that sear set to a 90-degree. Out of the box, this has already came with a 90-degree, which made my decision much easier. No problem with the sears. Held up just fine. This is stock trigger too. I've had no problems. Every once in a while, I don't know if it's my adjustment or it's just over time it's just wearing out, but this is plastic through and through. from the actual drop to the sear set. It drops. It's still plastic. I'm sure eventually it will break, but that's not a problem. What is it? Best Spoke Airsoft makes aluminum versions, so they won't break. So I do have an option later on down the road if it does inevitably break. But so far, I've had no issues. Every once in a while, it might stick, but if I just pull the trigger again, it'll drop.
Damn.
Yes.
So how much money do you have into this gun? Because you have an inner barrel and hop up
of
too?
Of course.
Okay.
Which I'll get to. The inner barrel is a 605, like a normal stock barrel. It's brass. It has a stock bucking. I don't know what degrees it is. It's very soft. And out of the box, I think this gun was shooting 380 out of the box.
Yeah.
Not shooting hot, which is not acceptable as a sniper rifle. I don't know if that was legally, or I don't know what the reasoning behind why not. Maybe it's because the parts obviously don't hold up to a higher strike spring, but
I wonder, yeah, that seems to be what it is.
It most likely will be, but for a sniper rifle, 380 is not acceptable. I would, that's my 2 cents, I guess.
Yeah.
But whatever. So in total, are you counting all these parts as well, like all this?
I would say the parts that you needed to make this gun actually fieldable.
So 150, 200, 300 $300.
On top of the initial purchase price of this gun is what? I'd buy an SRS.
Listen, all sniper rifles except for the SSG. I'm not going to sit here and talk about the SSG. That's not my intention. I needed a smaller gun.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with sniper rifles, they're super long, they're super heavy. There's a bunch of companies that make them. They're just way too heavy for my personal use.
Yeah.
And this is actually the perfect length, the perfect weight. This is exactly what I wanted out of a sniper rifle without the additional problems. With sniper rifles, unless you buy the SSG, you will have to upgrade them. VSR 10.
Well, yeah, you can get the VSR 10 G spec and then upgrade it.
Exactly.
As an example of something in this category.
You can. I have a VSR 10 that my brother uses just off camera, and he put money into it as well. And that's just the unfortunate nature of sniper rifles. Unless you get the SSG, you will have to put work into them. The stock barrel hop-up and bucking were not acceptable. It was a plastic hop-up unit and a shitty bucking and a shitty barrel. You can't use that once you start upgrading and you want to try to make precision shots. It will not work like that. If you just want to have a cool looking sniper rifle, you can throw a T1 on it and you just kind of go CQB sniping. Perfectly fine. However, the bolt will still inevitably break. So I don't understand the design behind the pin set, and they continue that with their upgrade cylinder, and it will obviously eventually break as well.
Yeah, but now once you've got all these parts in it, it's pretty solid.
Oh, it is awesome. It is by far my favorite sniper rifle I've used, aside from the SSG. Again, don't ruin me into the comments. I understand the SSG exists.
I mean, really what you wanted was the shorter barrel.
I wanted the shorter barrel. I wanted the lightweightness, because this thing is really lightweight. It's all polymer.
Yeah. One thing I like about this, weighing in my little bit of experience, I like the form factor.
Yeah, it looks dope.
It feels a lot like a Magpul chassis, which I think is pretty cool because they really have a lot of thought put into their form factor. I don't love the little second hook on the pistol grip here, but
you can exchange
swap
that.
it.
You can swap all
You
of
can
this.
swap the cheek comb here. You can swap the butt pad.
Which I will point out a couple things. I did swap out the butt end because the AS02 comes with a M14 style butt, where the thingy flips up and then it has a shoulder rest. That thing is awful.
Who uses that?
That thing is awful. When you're trying to actually lay down and take precision shots, that thing gets in the way. I don't understand. They just could have just left on this rubber butt pad and everybody would have been happier. So I did swap mine out.
Yeah.
You can swap out the grip. You can make it from the AS01 completely flat. I like the ridges. My hands are a little bit smaller, so I like to know that nice confirmed purchase on the gun so I know where I'm at. The bolt handle is not stock. I did upgrade that. That's just easier for me to pull.
Especially with the scope in the way.
Exactly. The one that comes with it is straight down and has a little ball on top, and the ball does fall off.
So it seems like all the stock parts on this gun just fall apart.
Well, yeah, because once you start using the actual bolt handle, it starts to unscrew itself, so you'll have to reapply blue Loctite and for it to actually stay on. So that's why I just went with this one. This is an Ares edition, or this is one from Ares. This is one piece, and I like the actual bolt hand or the actual pull on this because it's much easier for me.
Yeah.
Lastly, actually, you can switch out this. This is 22 millimeters. You can put aftermarket parts. I know Ares makes a whole plethora of suppressors, muzzle brakes, flash hiders.
Adapters?
They do make an adapter, which I was just about to mention. They do have an adapter, so you can take this off, and you can put an adapter on there so you can use your 14 millimeter things that you already have in your arsenal already. So you can just put the adapter on and put whatever on there. I don't have anything I want to put on there. The suppressor's not going to make this thing any quieter, so
yeah.
I don't plan on putting a suppressor on there. But lastly, I want to go over the magazines. These are polymer. This one holds 45, this one holds 60. I would say stick with the shorter one because this fits in M4 mag pouches. It fits in my Spiritus. It fits in my knockoff Haley Strategic DC30RM, and it also fits my SpeedQB mag pouches.
So that is easier to carry.
This is much easier to carry. If you were going to buy this, get the smaller one. It holds 45 rounds, which is plenty for a sniper. You don't need 60, but this is all that they offer as an an additional magazine from Evike. They don't have the shorter ones. They only have these ones. But in the near future, I will be switching over to these because these are easier for me to carry.
Fair enough.
This is why I took off the base plate because it was much easier for me to put in pouches.
So overall, out of the box,
yeah,
it kind of sounds like this thing sucks.
Yeah.
But if you put all the work into it, then it's a unique platform with some benefits.
I think the contributing factor to me purchasing this gun is that it does have upgrades.
Yeah.
You can find parts for these. They're all over the place. You can buy them at Red Wolf. Obviously, Bespoke has a ton of parts, and EDGI makes parts for this gun as well.
I think there's an HPA kit for this. I'm not sure.
Yes, there is a Mancraft kit.
Gotcha.
Do not buy that.
No.
I've looked into it. I actually considered buying it. It was very cheap. It was like $275 all done.
But it was rough.
I'm on a group on Facebook, and I see people have nothing but problems with the Mancraft for this gun.
That sucks.
So I'm like, just gonna stick with the spring because at least this is all steel, CNC'd, and is works, and I can swap the spring out if I ever needed to. So far, I haven't. I just kept the 160 in there for Bad Blood, and I had no problems with it. So I do run the Glorious VTEC sling. I just thought I mentioned it because I know you're here. The way I did it is I put in a Magpul RSA, and then I just used the existing sling mount.
There's the sling mount so you can move it to either side.
There is a ton of modifications you can do to this platform. Yeah. I've seen a ton of people cut the bottom of this out to put a Kydex insert in here to hold an additional magazine.
That's not a bad idea.
Not my thing.
Not your thing, but it's not a bad idea.
Because if I ever wanted to sell this, not that I want to, but if I wanted to, it's kind of a hard sell on some people.
Yeah,
so I just want to keep it solid. Yeah.
Fair enough.
The whole couple thing. I do enjoy the magwell on this though. The AS01 had a little bit more, just kind of two thingies come out, and then you have to kind of finagle your way in this. It is kind of a pain to get the mag in and out. Out easier. In, you kind of have to make sure it's nice and straight and push up.
Yeah.
But overall, solid platform. I just wish that some of the design choices weren't made into the round 2 version of this, but...
So it's a solid platform to upgrade from, but out of the box...
It's garbage.
You're going to need to build it.
Yeah, you will inevitably have to... They do make the shot indicator without an indicator, so you can get that from Action Army, EDGI, and Bespoke. They all make them.
All right.
You can also get an actual adjusting wheel for your hop-up unit, but I don't use it enough to actually make sense of purchasing it. It is $20.
Gotcha. So the verdict then is the Ares Striker AS02 is a great gun once you take all the Ares parts out of it.
Well, if you get the AS02, you don't need to change the sears.
One part.
2 parts, actually, because it is a 2-part system.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, overall, if you're thinking about getting the Ares Striker, specifically the AS02, go ahead and buy it. Obviously, you will need to be putting parts into it. I do have the Action Army hop-up unit with the Action Army barrel. It's just they have the Maple Leaf Decepticon 80 degree bucking in here. So I did put those parts in there because the stock, it was not going to happen with the parts that had in it. But yeah, if you're thinking about getting it, pick it up and start, you know, tinkering with it. It is decent out of the box, just the bolt's going to inevitably break.
Yeah. I'll stick with my M-Force. I'm a simpleton.
Listen, this is actually really fun for me because I do have a Viper hood and I get to play around with it, and that's pretty fun for me. I had actually a really good time in Babylon this time around.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. I hope this video helped you, and this is my review of the Ares Striker AS02 Gen 2. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Thank you for watching this video from Gun Gamers. We hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it. Check the description below if you'd like to buy a t-shirt or a patch, and use the coupon code JUDY10 for 10% off of your next order at Amped Airsoft. Thank you again for watching, and praise Judy.